Hello, everyone. I'm Dirk Garner. I'm the artistic director and conductor of the Bach Festival. And welcome to our second in our series of Bach Festival podcasts this year. Last week, we heard from Dwight Oltmann, the longtime director of the festival. And this week, we're joined by his colleague of many, many years, the much beloved Stuart Raleigh. Welcome, Stuart.
Thank you.
Stuart, it's everybody may not realize that before I became artistic director of the festival, that you and I sit next to each other and watch all of these performances from our seats way up in the balcony in that top
Yes,
row.
I get vertigo up there.
Yeah, we do, don't we? Yep. But I always loved that. It was strangely comforting to me because you more than anyone else, especially in those early years, knew the experience I was having and knew the experience that all of my students were having. And you always had beautiful comments and told great stories that we're going to hopefully hear some of today. And I treasured that and still do. And I look forward to that in the future. And I'm wondering, over all of those years of preparing this music, Stuart, if you came to have a favorite of the four major works that we do, or a favorite movement.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think the B minor mass can be topped. It has a variety, I think, that the other pieces don't. The passions, by their very nature, are somber pretty much throughout. And the Christmas oratorio is optimistic and positive, but the B minor mass has both, and it goes through several styles as well. It's certainly my favorite of all Bach for the large works, though I do have a special place in my heart for the motets.
Yeah, it's my favorite too. Every choral person in the world, right? It's probably all of our favorite. It's the greatest music. Do you have a favorite movement that you love to teach, or that you?
Oh, yes. I would have to say the first Gloria.
So what do you love about that movement?
Well, it's a prelude and fugue in itself, and it's the first we hear the full orchestra with the trumpets and timpani, which come particularly in an exciting way, coming after the somber ending of the Kyrie in four voices. Now we're in five, and in particular, I think the melisma forms the fugue is one of the most beautiful ever. It's just so lovely and so uplifting. I don't particularly like that word. I always find it somehow depressing that we're being uplifted against our will. But I find a real surge of emotion on that melisma and all the ways that it's used in the fugue that follows.
Let's hear just a second of that. Let's hear just a little bit of that melisma before we go on, because it's among my favorite things in the world as well. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? It's beautiful.
It sure is.
Just incredible.
And as far as fun in teaching, of course, the most spectacular, I think, is the Sanctus and the Plenicencelli, which is also pretty much the most difficult in 6 voices. And we're yet to hear the 8 voices that are coming up, the only place in the Mass.
So of all of this music, and particularly the music of Bach, what became your favorite piece of Bach's to do?
Well, I would have to say the Magnificat. I never conducted it here myself, but I prepared it 5 times. And when I started at Syracuse University, it was the first thing that I did, along with the Poulenc Gloria.
Let's listen to just a bit of this Magnificat, just a little bit. Which movement shall we play?
Oh, I think right from the beginning.
Excellent. Well, let's just hear a bit of this. Yeah, it's great music, isn't it? It's just terrific music.
It really is, and it flies by. Again, no da capos, and I had the experience. I was in Budapest, and there was a performance in a very old church, and it was done with the soloists and the chorus being one and the same, and antique instruments, and a breakneck tempo. It was so strange to hear it. It seems it was over in 20 minutes, and I'll always remember that because of the setting.
And I know you have a special place in your heart for the motets.
Oh, well, indeed. I think of them as a distillation of his genius. They are short, and they're all good. Good. They're all wonderful. Certainly the first one, I mean, Singet dem Herrn ein neues Lied. I think that for minute, I think that's his masterpiece. I mean, you can't compare it with the Be My Rest, but for a piece of that short duration, I don't think it can be beaten.
Let's hear just a little bit of the beginning of that. Let's hear the opening of Singet dem Herrn.
Wonderful.
And that's such a great recording. That's a great recording that you've done there.
Thank you.
And teaching all of that music. And you're so lucky to have done them so many times.
I know that.
Well, what a great conversation, Stuart. I thank you so much for your time. You're a legend and a treasure to BW.
A legend in his own mind.
I think a legend in everyone's mind, my friend. So that's a great place to wrap up. I hope you'll join us, Stuart, for our Bach Festival Town Hall on April 17th at 4:00. And it's all done via Zoom. And I hope everyone listening will join us for that. And you can find more information about that at conversation.bw.edu. It's going to be a marvelous event to reconnect with your colleagues and your classmates from your time in school, and to see your old teachers and to see the old directors and just reminisce with the Bach Festival clan. Well, thank you, Stuart, and to the rest of you, I hope to see you in April, and stay well in the meantime.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.